Welcome, everybody, to Catholic Owned Live. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Monday, July 13th, and we have a really exciting day today, and I have an exciting topic looking forward to sharing with you today. So, if this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for joining us. This is Catholic Owned Live, the show where we talk honestly about faith, work, vocation, and what it really takes to build the new Catholic economy. I'm your host, Brooke Joyner. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Catholic Owned. And we today have a super exciting announcement. We launched our brand new men's guide today, Well-Made Essentials for Catholic Men. So I'm going to share a little bit about that with you. And then second, I am going to be talking a little bit about how as Catholics we really can and should be working to rehumanize commerce and transactions. So I'm excited to be with you. Let us know you're with us. We have some people live on Instagram. I see some people on LinkedIn joining live. So definitely thank you guys so much for joining us. So first up, I want to share the men's guide with you. So if you are new here, the guides are curated collections of between 5 and 8 products, and they are all about a very specific moment and need for a Catholic. So at Catholic Owned, we list many businesses, and our marketplace has hundreds of products available. And so the guides are really designed to help shoppers navigate all of those options in a beautiful, curated, and easy way. And so every couple of weeks right now, we're releasing these beautiful guides. And our first guide was postpartum support for Catholic moms. And that is still live on our website, CatholicOwned.com. You'll see the guides on the homepage. You can shop the postpartum support and gifts for Catholic moms there. But our guide today is our second ever guide, and that is Well-Made Essentials for Catholic Men. This guide is really curated to honor the fathers, husbands, friends, uncles, godfathers, the men in our lives who, are living their faith every day. And this guide is really designed to honor him in those ordinary moments. So the guide is comprised of 8 products. It's a really full guide. And these are everyday products. That's what's really important to understand, that these guides are and the products that we are listing are more and more all about everyday needs. So of course we have Catholic items, right? We have a beautiful, beautiful heirloom quality St. Joseph Rosary with beautiful bronze medals from Della Madonna. Absolutely gorgeous, truly Catholic product. You should definitely place your order before those sell out. I know Della is super amazing at making them, but I just encourage you to take action on that if that rosary catches your eye. But beyond that, we have a wonderfully high quality navy blue polo from Bonafide Traditional Gent. We have a fitted blue hat also from Bonafide Traditional Gent. A beautiful everyday item that a Catholic man can kind of wear anywhere. It's not just a religious item specifically. We also have Solid Cologne. If you've ever seen the Solid Cologne from Catholic Balm Co., wonderful Catholic-owned business. They have tons of essentials for men, and that's all that they make. And in this guide, they have the Solid Cologne, and they also have their Ambry beard oil. So we know so many Catholic men have facial hair, and they like to take care of that, and that oil is there for them in this guide. We also have coffee from Knights Coffee. I want to make sure and shout out the Knights Coffee brand. They are actually the only Catholic coffee brand end to end, literally from the farms that they source the coffee from all the way to cup. It is truly farm to cup, authentically Catholic end to end. And additionally, with Knights Coffee, part of your purchase goes to support seminarians in the diocese of your choice. So Knights Coffee, of course, because every man, every Catholic man needs good coffee to start the day. And then we also have a wonderful, it's called tallow hair clay. So this is like a hairstyling paste, replaces gel and mousse and some other things, but it's a natural product, totally safe for kids, little boys who are kind of starting to style, as well as men who need that refined look, especially for work or for mass, date night. We want to make it easy for our husbands to look their best. And so the tallow hair clay is a tool for hair for that. And then the last item, last but certainly not least, I want to talk about the personalized wooden watch. So every man typically is wearing a watch. And I think, at least in my family, my husband has beautiful like formal watches, but the everyday watch is somewhat hard to shop for. And that's why I love these personalized wooden watches from the Novena Rose Company. And you might be asking, how is it personalizable? How is it personalized? And it's because Jennifer, who's just such a wonderful soul, what she does is when you order this beautiful watch, you can choose from 3 colors of wood. And then the band is leather. The leather matches the wood. But you submit either a typed message or, and get this, you're not even going to believe it, you can submit a photo of your handwriting, your handwritten message, or maybe your children's handwritten message to dad, and they will engrave it on the back of these beautiful wooden watches. It is so beautiful. And those are the beautiful touches that Novena Rose Company just puts into all of the work that they do. So I'm just absolutely honored to feature them. So all in all, we have Bonafide Traditional Gent, and Steve is also our featured merchant. Check out our social posts. You're going to love Steve's story. They're such amazing people at Bonafide Traditional Gent. You have Catholic Balm Co. You have Schneider Home Goods. You have Novena Rose Co., Knights Coffee, and Della Madonna Rosaries. So an incredible lineup of wonderful Catholic-owned small businesses, but you can shop their products, everyday products for Catholic men. So visit our website, catholicowned.com. The guides are just right there towards the top of the site. Browse the guides, shop the guides, and best of all, last thing I'm going to say on the guides, when you shop a guide with Catholic owned, there's a button that says add all, whether it's 6 or 8 or 7, add all 8 to cart. You click that one button, it will add all those products to the cart for you, so you don't have to add them one by one. This is such an easy feature. So add those items to cart, and then the shipping. So let me tell you a little bit about the checkout. It's a unified cart, one easy cart. You put in your address one time, you put in your credit card one time, and you check out. And whether you buy from one merchant or 100, that checkout is just that simple every single time. And that's really special because this leads into the topic I'm going to talk about today. But that super easy checkout is so important as a shopper. And then the other big piece that we really want to drive home for people is that with Catholic owned, whether you shop the whole guide, you shop part of the guide, you shop any of the other hundreds of incredible products from our Catholic owned merchants in the marketplace, shipping is always included. So the price you see on a product has already accounted for the shipping cost for standard shipping. We're doing standard shipping right now only, but your shipping cost is already included. So you're never going to see that, $12.50 added at checkout because the shipping label has to be created. None of that with Catholic owned, shipping always included. So you can shop with your mind at ease that what you see is truly what you get. So that wraps up the part about the men's guide today. I do hope you'll shop the guide. It's beautiful. It is very much a tribute to the wonderful men in my life, in the lives of our team, and really just designed to help those men who work so hard, who ask for so little, but give so much, to give them something they can use every day, but that also has some meaning. So be sure to check it out today. All right, so the easy checkout conversation is a perfect lead in to the topic I want to talk about today. It is so important. So what we just taking a step back a little bit, what we as a society have become accustomed to is what is really a dehumanized version of commerce. We see this and obviously so many of us use Amazon. We want to get away from it, but we cannot deny that Amazon has changed the way that we shop, and it has changed our expectations around commerce to a degree that is quite extreme. So some of the symptoms of this, I call it the dehumanization of transactions, the dehumanization of commerce. So often we feel, if we need to write a support email, right, we need to write in and ask for support, or there's a problem with our order, we can be so quick to write a very sharp email, not take that extra 30 seconds to say, hello, I hope you're doing well, and then make our request in a gracious manner. Instead, it can be very easy to say, where's my order? Messaging like that. And as AI becomes the customer service agents, that utilitarian approach, that dehumanized approach is taken even a step further. And those are habits that we kind of have taken on and that have become part of the way that we buy. Another sort of aspect of this is in regards to free shipping, Prime, next day or same day shipping, and that shipping, that super expedited delivery time being free. So if you think about that, that is exploiting so many levels of humanity. It is superhuman. It is impossible for anyone to compete on that, which is obviously why they do it. But it creates expectations for us as the shopper that are unnatural. Truly, it is not natural to think that you want something and to have it appear on your doorstep within a matter of hours. And I know that Amazon as a company and Jeff Bezos, the vision really is think it and it will materialize within seconds, or as close to immediately as possible. I also know that Amazon says they are obsessed with the customer. And those two things, being obsessed with the customer and empowering and enabling the customer to imagine what they want and have it be in their hands immediately, those are two things, those are two positions and two postures really that only belong to God. Only God can think something and it is. And how much what I just described, the expectation that I think that I want something and it materializes on my doorstep as soon as possible, how similar to the sin in the garden is that? The desire to be like God, literally. And so what I see is that Amazon is basically making the customer God and has oriented all of its business practices, all of its goals and optimizations and innovations around making the customer the God. And I don't have to say it, as Catholics, that is so disordered. That is literally the first sin, that you wanting to be like God. And so it just, there's so many things about the way that Amazon has transformed commerce that are disordered. and are ultimately in the pursuit of making the customer like God. So many aspects of the supply chain and the process and the businesses involved have been exploited and dehumanized. And we as the customers are accustomed now to we are accustomed to, sorry, there's some comments coming in. I just want to make sure to respond to everybody. We're accustomed to this expedited, crazy, super fast way of basically wanting to be like God. And these are habits we've built up. And it is from that repeated use of this dehumanized purchasing tool and system of purchasing that we really have developed these habits. So I'm going to pause right there. I just want to check the comments. Catholic Homemaking asks, are you a business platform where businesses can list their services? Yes, we are. So Catholic Owned is similar to Yelp and Angie's List on the business directory side. So you can browse and find businesses of all kinds. But we're also kind of like Amazon and Etsy on the marketplace side. So you can find and actually buy products from dozens of Catholic owned merchants, products of all kinds, and check out in one place. So we list all business types. And absolutely, if you're a business owner, we have a way to serve you. We have offers for every business type, and we are happy to welcome you. Okay. Thank you, Della. Yes, it's a Catholic marketplace, exactly. And yes, awesome. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure we're responding to everybody. Della, you're amazing. Thank you for helping out in the chat. You're just the best. So we have this dehumanized way of doing business, right? And so when you talk about Catholic owned, we used to just have a business directory and networking. That was our whole thing that we did as Catholic Homemaking was asking. We mostly services, but also products, but we didn't do any transactions. We just were kind of the source of information for the businesses and for consumers who wanted to find them. So when we set out to rebuild our app and our website entirely, which is out now, and they are beautiful, they're amazing. CatholicOwned.com, check it out. We said we have to create a marketplace that can compete with Amazon and Etsy. Why is that? And it goes back to the fact that as Catholics and as human beings across the world, we, because of the Amazon's pursuit of making the customer God and other competitors following suit to compete, we as consumers have become accustomed to certain things about purchasing that are disordered. But if Catholic Owned wants to create a useful tool that is usable and that Catholics actually want to use and shop and have a great experience, then we need to be able to compete on at least some of the things. But we have to do it in a way that does not exploit people and that aligns with our Catholic values. That's pretty tough to do because everything about our Catholic values is in direct contrast to making the customer God. Obviously, that's not something a small company can even achieve anyway, especially when you consider that Amazon lost money for decades, literally decades. They built Prime and the marketplace as it is today by losing tons of money. I mean, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars every year in losses reported for more than 25 years. They were able to do that because they have Amazon Web Services and some other things to cover the losses. Your average company, like Catholic Owned, cannot sustain those losses. So what did we say? We said we have to create something that Catholics want to use to buy, and we have to make it sustainable for everybody because we want to be here for the long haul and we want to serve business owners and shoppers for the long haul. And so we set about to do this. And so what did we arrive at? And here's what we arrived at. And we believe this is so aligned with Catholic social teaching. And I would love to hear if you agree. So first of all, we have the unified checkout. So all the shopping all the merchants and in one convenient checkout. You see all the merchants and all the products you add to your cart in one place, just like on Amazon or Etsy. And then when you check out, if you have a login, you can actually save your address and your payment method. So in theory, if you are logged in when you make your first purchase, you only ever have to put your address and credit card in one time, just like on Amazon or Etsy. And this is so, so important because your first time that you shop, of course, that hesitation, that annoyance of putting in the credit card is a big barrier for most customers. And so we broke down that barrier and built this so that you can put it in once and you're covered. And you can come back and keep buying over and over and you don't have to worry about that. The second thing that we did was that shipping is always included. So we ask our merchants to ensure that their shipping cost is included in their pricing. And why do we do that? Because we want Catholics to see the price they're going to pay, get to the cart, and check out. We don't want that surprise $8 an item, $12 an item, especially when you're talking about shipping from multiple merchants. It's very quickly, the shipping really can add up. So we've worked with our merchants to have them include their shipping for standard shipments in their pricing. So there's just not that big surprise at the end. And we think that that's so, so valuable. And I would love to hear if you think that's a great approach as well. And then third is that we ask our merchants to ship within 2 business days of receiving the order. This is important because a common complaint with shopping small is that order fulfillment can be really slow. And when Amazon has such a quick, immediate, again, they want to make the customer the god. They want you to think what you want and materialize it in front of your eyes instantaneously or as close to it. That's what we're up against here. So to help our Catholic merchants be competitive, to help make the marketplace have a standard, we said we need you to ship within 2 business days. Unless it's a custom product, then of course you can check their fulfillment timeline on the product listing. Obviously, custom and personalized products need more time. So please always check your product listings anytime you're shopping on Catholic owned, because a lot of the products are handmade. And we want you to have the accurate information and expectation on when you're going to get your items delivered. But as a standard, shipping within 2 business days is the rule. And our merchants sign on to that. They agree to that. So those are some of the ways that we built the Catholic owned marketplace to somewhat compete with the big guys without losing the soul of the mission and of the movement, without exploiting our merchants, ourselves, our team, and without exploiting the shoppers. What we know is that when we have adopted this disordered method and way and habit of buying something and expecting it to materialize immediately, we've all built that habit. And undoing that will take time. We have to tell ourselves, we have to recognize, hey, it's okay if it takes a couple of more days most of the time. It's okay to think, I need to plan a little bit more ahead sometimes. Is it always possible? No. But those are habits that we can all work on. I know I'm working on it. I know so many in our community are working on it. We don't have to wait till it's an emergency. We can plan ahead. And that little bit of intentionality, that little bit of patience, that little bit of temperance, it can really go a long way in starting to unravel these bad habits that this dehumanized vision and process of commerce and transactions has just embedded into each and every one of us. We can together make a difference. We can unravel all of those habits, at least for 1 or 2 things. Maybe not for everything, but for some things here and there, a little bit at a time, 1 step at a time, we can. And at Catholic Owned, we want to try to make it as easy as possible for you so that you don't have to interrupt your life just to shop with intention. maybe you have to plan ahead a few more days, but you can also find what you need for everyday needs, including clothing, cosmetics and personal care, beauty and personal care. Of course, we have a broad selection of beautiful Catholic products. Whatever you need, our growing marketplace, we want our growing marketplace to be where you go when you need to buy anything. So start with Catholic owned, whatever you need to buy. So I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let us know if you agree. Are you ready to move beyond this dehumanized approach that we've all become so accustomed to? What do you think about the approach that we're taking to try to smooth over these transitions to more intentional shopping? And I would also love to know what you think of the men's guide. Well-Made Essentials for Catholic Men is the guide that just dropped today. Visit our website, catholicowned.com, and check for the guides and grab some items for the men in your life that you love. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Monday edition of Catholic Owned Live. This is the show where we talk honestly about faith, work, vocation, and what it really takes to build the new Catholic economy. I'm your host, Brooke Joyner. I will be back on Wednesday with you here. I have a wonderful guest joining me, and I can't wait for you to meet her. It'll be at noon Central Time, wherever you're watching this, and I will see you then. Until then, God bless you.